Before we do anything, actually, I think we should look into our journal a bit. Bring it on, Vergen. Job and Sikrin, Sean Skaggs at arm wrestling. Okay. You do not have much free time, but the girl likes to have his fun. After besting Sultan Shiva at arm wrestling, the dwarf told him of the exploits of his old crew. Stories about dwarven grit convinced the Witcher to take on Yarp and Sikrin and Sheldon Skaggs. You search for those trails. That's what we're all about. This here is so we'll also get some of the political stuff going on, but this is what we're really here for. That's our actual goal. The locations, we've got the battlefield, Nightmare Ghost Realm, where they keep fighting. Okay, and Vergen, Dwarven Town with mines. Interesting. Let's see the secondary characters. The Cecil Burden. Let's see. The ordinary dwarf. The nephew of Cecil, young son Burden, and taken by the aldermen after their lad's parents had perished in one of the non-human massacres that occurred in Eden. As friendly, hard-working, and efficient as his uncle, Scalen took it upon himself to act as Vergen's official representative in his uncle's absence, providing all newcomers to the town with any information or assistance they needed. Before I keep going, let's just take a moment to appreciate this music, the soundtrack here. It's amazing, it's what I'm telling you. Let's see, what about Tress Marigold now? Well, she'd reached Eden. There's evidence to prove it. Finding her would prove difficult, however. Right. Dandelion. Yeah, and it's all written from his perspective, so of course his own opinion of himself is going to be, maybe not the entire truth. See, obviously, when Geralt decided to continue his search in Vergen, located in a borderland soon to be engulfed by the flames of war, I chose to accompany him. For the Witcher could at times be naive as a child, and knew as much about politics as a ghoul knows about cooking, and thus the chances were slim to none that, bereft of my help, he would manage to find the new leads without getting embroiled in some trouble along the way. As his friend, I clearly could not allow that. Of course. And Yorvath. How about him now? Loyal towards those who placed their trust in him, and he returned their trust. This was undeniable. His respect for Geralt grew after they freed their prisoners, and the elf would not hesitate to repay the debt he had incurred. Good Sultan went with us to Vergen, and with enthusiasm worthy of his military past, began training the local militia that would soon see its baptism of fire, which is also a title for one of the books and a term that's sort of regularly used when you talk about stuff because it's an actual term, but whatever. Though it appeared they would have a hard time, Sultan was ready to defend the cause he believed in, fighting at the side of elves and men. Interesting. Laredo. This vile individual's duplicity, his fidelity to his person alone, were apparent to anyone who paused to look at him. His sale of Flotsam, an important trading post to the kingdom of Ketwin, was to be his crowning swindle, and the provincial ruffian cared little that it would also render him a traitor to his country. And Henselt, infernal king, Vision clearly had not wanted to wage war and reclaim Lawmark, a province he had already given up once, no matter the cost. Philip Eilhard. And without her we would not have gone out of the mist, that is true. It's Saskia. So let's see what she's all about now that we have an entry on her. Just basically Jeanne d'Arc, but actually capable of fighting. So let's see. ideal icon for rebellion. Yeah. Dandelion, of course, showing his lust in his writing, but it's okay. Let's see, these are all the reasons for the heroic Saskia, the woman who held Catwin's armies at bay. At the time, however, it all seemed like little more than exaggerated rumours. As with any true hero, there were many incredible tales about Saskia. Some claimed she was invulnerable to fire and had thus survived that terrible battle when Sabrina had rained the very flames of hell down upon the combatants. The girl was also infamous for killing a dragon. No, not infamous, famous for killing a dragon. One would be hard-pressed to find a better material for a local hero. True. It's Dennis. Let's see. So yeah, the nobility, they like him, and they support him at least, but the common folk, they don't really like Stennis. Because it hasn't really accomplished anything to prove himself. A death mold. The sorcerer advisor for Henselt. See, he's an interesting fellow. He also exists in the books. As does Yorbath, by the way. Brennan Roach does not. He's a completely original character made up by CD Projekt Red. Though in many ways, Yorveth is a stand-in for a different character. They just couldn't get to appear because he had left the world, really. Not by means of death, but just by means of going far to the east together with Sigismund Dijkstra. That elf or fellow, that man, was Isengrim Foul something. But Yorvath he's just mentioned in the books as being, oh yeah, he exists. And he's a commando leader or whatever. And then that's really all you hear about him. Yarben Sigrun. A famed hunt for the Golden Dragon. Not only caught, but also beat up his hunters. Describe one of my ballads, and anyone interested, so you should read it. Yeah, you really should read the books, if you haven't already. Even if I am here to let you sort of have read them through my telling you about it. But they were hunting a golden dragon, and the dwarves end up going, yeah, no, this dragon is too strong, we can't kill it. And they agreed not to kill it. And also because it was the last of its kind, and so all in all, the dwarves were on friendly terms with Geralt, so Yarpen Sigrun can by all means be considered a friend to Geralt. Even if he also, I think, took part in binding him to a cart. Right. We've tallied enough in the journal. Well, let's follow Scalen here. First, let's quickly ready the art side. Before we do anything else, notices. Harpy contract. My mines are closing. The runesmith is dead. Apparently, but the contract needs someone to do criminal investigations, and Harpy Queen contract. Good stuff for us. Kinda rude, but okay. Let's not overtake him. Now who's the door open?
Look, another one. You let one human in and in no time you've got a swarm. Ants. I heard human women need only sit astride a man's balls from the belly.
Casual racism. Showing that even the dwarves can be racist towards humans. We've got penis who he raises towards dwarves. And in their eyes, Geralt is seemingly human.
This shall be your chamber, Witcher. They say Selkirk of Gullet himself slept in this bed before battle. Didn't bring him any luck, but at least he was well rested before he died. Need anything else? Thanks, Skaven.
Is it the war council? Since we have our own little storage here, that's neat. Oh, we can't store that. Wait a second. First of all, that's, since all of this wastes nothing now, because of the cool little mod I found, we'll take that on us. The game's equipped us with a robust longsword for some reason. We're gonna re-equip our cutlass. Let's see where this war council is. How we can start jogging around, or jogging, to just get some proper pronunciation going. However,
Since when do noblemen fight peasants?
Sign of the times. Saskia treats the peasantry as our equals. And once you let a dog inside, it'll never sleep in the doghouse again. But that's not for me to judge. The point is, you can make good coin off fistfights.
Any rules to this?
Each contender puts down his stake, which rises the more fights he wins. If you want to fight, put down some coin. Up for the next fight, or are you just going to stand there and go?
A worthy contender, please.
For starters, you'll fight a novice. Stand and fight, but first, show me your coin. In that case, betting is now open. Stop stroking him and wrap him up!
true traditional style for us, we shall do some fistfights as we find him and get him out of the way.
Slug him between the eyes! Bite his ball!
There are 3 competitors for us to beat. And this here is one.
That was a sight for sore eyes. Beautiful fight. Congratulations on your win. You're moving up the ranks, sir, just like your winnings. Ready for another fight?
A worthy contender, please.
The better the opponent, the better the fight. The better the fight, the higher the stakes. The higher the stakes, the bigger the winnings.
Reasonable enough.
In that case, betting is now open.
But this will also give us a tiny boost to our coin, allowing us to maybe buy a better silver sword somewhere, or buy materials to craft one if we find a recipe, or a schematic. That's really cool.
Slug it between the eyes. Finally, an end to the flailing and someone with a touch of finesse. The pool is yours. You're moving up the ranks, sir, just like your winnings. Ready for another fight?
Of course.
A worthy contender, please.
Excellent. This is the strongest lad I know. He's knackered many a plough horse. The fortune he's made in his fist-fighting career makes many a nobleman green with envy. Place your bets. Hurry, before it's too late. In that case, betting is now open.
Don't be afraid of him!
Slug him between the eyes.
That's the wrong button. But seemingly that didn't do any damage to us, so
Stop stroking
I
him
don't
and
know what's
wrap
going
him
on.
up. Bite his balls. That was a sight for for sore eyes. Beautiful fight. Congratulations on your win. A wonderful show of strength, precision, and agility. Seems there's no one left to challenge the new champion.
You couldn't be more wrong.
Sir Silbert,
It is I.
funny seeing you here. You've always claimed such fights were a primitive diversion for commoners.
A true knight duels another in the exquisite company of ladies and real gentlemen.
Oh, I'll never forget the great achievements of Selkirk in the tourneys.
On many occasions did my brother prove his greatness. Alas, the world's going to the dogs. Today a knight must challenge commoners to prove his bravery. But there's a witcher among you. And though his blood is no match for mine, his warring mastery is satisfactory. Perhaps when he drops to the ground at my feet, you'll realize I'm not merely Selkirk's brother. I'll be known as Silgrat, every witcher's worst nightmare. I challenge you, witcher. The wager is 2 sacks of gold. Believe me, Silgrat doesn't challenge any old serf.
Okay.
You want to prove you're your brother's equal? Show me what you're made of.
Stand and fight.
Stop stroking him and wrap him up!
We haven't really heard much about this Selkirk fellow,
be
but
afraid of
seemingly he was a great warrior. And noble, so he was a knight. Considering this guy is a nobleman and his brother. And he's now also been beaten up by us, by Garrick.
You won. Finish me off.
I'm no murderer. Besides, it was only a fist fight.
I'd rather have died at your hands.
It was an honest fight, just like you wanted.
You fail to understand. My reputation is ruined, my honor gone.
I thrashed you and won a pile of coin. Not sure I care about your reputation.
We'll meet again. Silgrat forgets no insult.
Congratulations to the victors, and thanks to the vanquished. You proved your mastery, Witcher. Fighting you is an honor. Let's tend to the pool!
Alright. Wait for events to unfold. So the Silkrat fellow, he's most likely going to come back about a week. I
Don't be afraid of
level up
him!
from doing this actually, so let's level up. There's definitely something afoot, or not really as much afoot as there's a kettle at the boiling point just waiting for the lid to blow off and everything just go crazy because we've got elves, dwarves, human peasants and human nobles all in the same spot, and war was about to break out. And there's also some matter of it's not really an interregnum for Eddon, it's more a case of Stannis hasn't really become a king, he's still considered the prince, so everything and every single corner of existence here in Upper Eddon, here in Vergen, it's being torn and squeezed, and someone's probably also taking a bite into it. It's really, really dangerous. Let's see, some damage reduction and more vitality so that we can get our group finisher soon. Just to unlock, the full range of our abilities. This has also given us a spot to mutate if we want to add a critical effects minion. But I think we will greater vitality. Let's see. I still like our dwarven enhancement. That's really good. We should get some better armor so that we can upgrade our equipment. Let's see. Where is the War Council? We can't zoom out and check out what's outside. Is it in the tavern, perchance? It can't really be in here unless... Let's go see if there's anything of interest in the other rooms. Nope. Oh, this room. No. So the War Council is most likely outside. But yeah, this here is a true political cauldron. And
He travels the lands, killing monsters for coin.
there's a good chance that something will, blow up. Something will go wrong. And we've now also insulted a nobleman by beating him up, so things can only go wrong. Mysterious merchant died. Let's attempt the war council and then get on with it.
Don't bump your woman.
Okay. I'm gonna go give it all a look at some merchants, some smiths. I suppose this is where we'll find a smith. Once we are no longer needed at the war council. Anything else? No. Let's consult our map and see if we can actually find out where we're supposed to be going. We are supposed to go somewhere. Okay, so it's up and around and down, I think. And up and around and down, I mean, we go past its inn and then we take that left there. And hopefully we'll prove Dandelion wrong and not get involved in politics. But since we are in the middle of a war zone,
There goes the peace, eh?
yeah, things will most likely go. We'll most likely end up being involved in something or other.
Greetings, colleague. I'm Urso, rat catcher. Traps of all sorts, for mice and for trolls, at a special discount for witches.
See what he has to sell. Some lures, diagrams, bombs, and some leather, some harpy lures. Bit of everything. Well, this guy is... he's just bobbing. Okay. Suppose it's in this building? No? There's crafting materials, and since we are cheating a bit with the modding, we can...
Why are you always so glum? Smile sometimes. Say something nice. Greetings.
Okay. Let's say something nice. I don't know. We're robbing this person blind. That's kind of rude, but... Okay, so I suppose we go in through here. And then we get into a kind of tunnel-looking place. Ooh, dwarven enhancement. That's always nice. Let's see. More stuff to pick up. Doesn't appear that it's in there. So it must be up here. Yep, that is indeed something that appears to be a war council.
You missed quite a scrap, gentlemen, and an opportunity to slay a monarch. There was a struggle and the prince was wounded.
You've all seen the magical phenomenon covering the battlefield. For any who still have doubts, this is no mundane mist, nor a petty fairground illusion. Most likely, we're up against a blood curse, an old and powerful spell. We do not know who cast it or why. For now, I have one piece of good news and several pieces of bad news. The good news is that Henselt and his army have been halted for the time being.
And the bad news?
The mist will grow. It may even engulf Vergen. Furthermore, wraiths may emerge from it.
Can they be made penitent? With an axe to the head?
In theory, yes. But I would suggest putting your faith in a silver weapon. Furthermore, the ghosts will weaken as they move away from the mist.
Is there any way to drive it off? Exorcise it?
A question for myself and Geralt of Rivia.
The Kingslayer?
Contrary to what old women at the wells say, he did not, in fact, slay any kings.
Of course he didn't.
Wouldn't hurt a fly, that one. Look at his eyes. You'll see he's the sensitive kind.
Whatever you may see in his eyes, few know more about lifting curses. Gentlemen, I do not require you to understand this phenomenon, but there are a few rules I insist you must follow.
Here we go.
No one is to approach the mist. It is mortally dangerous. In addition, we need to learn the story of the battle. For this, I especially count on the aid of Mr. Cecil Burden.
At your service, my lady.
Thank you. To lift the curse, we require some objects symbolic of the war. Ones belonging to those who perished here 3 years past.
Pfft. More scrap iron from that massacre lying about than lice in Cecil's beard. I thought curses were best handled with...
Please leave the thinking to me, Mr. Zigrin, and I'd gladly hear less from you from now on. The objects must be magically active and strictly linked to the ghosts of the fallen. That is all.
Let me be clear. You're all to aid Philippa and the Witcher. What are you grumbling about now, Yarpen?
It's something in my gullet.
Take a swig of wine. Now, to worldly matters. How many are we?
Saskia, you know well...
How many?
We dwarves are near 200, but don't judge us by our number.
1,000 peasants will come, though you'll get no precise count.
My lords?
53 knights and another 200 armed men. Not enough.
Henselt leads 5,000, 5 to 1 against us. What think you of that?
We are few, they are many, but we have our walls, low though they be. If we had archers, who knows?
Oh, for a regiment of heavy arbalists from Lyria.
We have something better. Yorvith's elves. Scoia'tael. Gentlemen, I give you Yorvith.
What do you seek here, murderer?
100 of the North's best archers await your orders, Dragon Slayer.
You wished for archers? Here they are. I take no pleasure in fraternizing with elves. But even a shit-coated stick can be a weapon. He burned down the villages of many in my horde.
The free peasantry is one thing, but a criminal with a price on his head in all the Northern realms? This is too much.
Saskia, say the word and we'll depart.
Hear me out. Yorvith came to fight for me. I trust him, and I know that he'll stay the course. Just like each of you.
How could you know that? He's an elf. Treason runs in his veins.
He's been fighting humans for a century.
But for the first time in scores of years, his fight makes sense. The Scoia'tael know no peace. They've died for Nilfgaard, for the Valley of the Flowers, in vain. They'd been betrayed and cheated. Now they have a new goal. The Pontar Valley could be the first state where no man would have to fear elven arrows when venturing beyond city walls. And elves and dwarves wouldn't live in ghettos or on reservations. First, however, we have a battle to win. You know who we're up against. It's a splendid army, brave and well-led. They cannot be scared off or routed. They have to be killed. I want Yorvith to sit at the same table as we do. I want him to kill Cadweni for us. And I assure you that he'll do so with a smile, if only you let him.
If I'm to see a smile on that skinny face, I'm in. Yorvith stays.
Bloody hell. Father's turning in his grave, but a must's a must. I say aye.
Nay, you killed my men, elf. Remember them?
If I hadn't killed them, they'd have killed me.
All right. For the sake of better times, and for Kedwin's doom, aye!
Down with the sons of bitches! Cheers!
Poison! She's dying. Take her somewhere safe and guard her with your lives. I'll gather what I need and join you soon.
I'll place my best warriors on watch.
Quickly, lads! A letter!
She ceased casting spells.
Saskia, is she alive?
In a manner of speaking, I've slowed her life functions as far as possible. Her condition is stable.
Okay. So no, the prince is not for your worth being here. Or you shouldn't really start forming opinions regarding the politics. That's not why we're here. But poison. That means someone in Vergen is against the Dragon Slayer, against Saskia. So
Do you know the poison?
Thaumadour, commonly known as mage pain. It has a terrible reputation.
An antidote must exist.
What can we do?
Treatment will require herbs, magic, and blood.
Not ordinary blood, I presume.
Correct. We require royal blood.
We could use Letho right now.
The nearest king is on the other side of the Mist of Wraiths.
You misunderstood me. It need not be the blood of a ruling monarch. It is the genotype contained in royal blood that is required. Kings issue from ancient dynasties. Over the ages, to survive, rulers needed exceptional resistance and strength. As royal dynasties rarely admit common blood, the strength of their genes remains great. I shall employ self-healing genetic therapy that will teach Saskia's body how to rid itself of the poison.
You'll have her drink human blood.
No, I shall inject it directly into her heart.
again, here we see some mixture of magic and science, which is really what the wizards of the witch are all about. So,
what kind of herbs are we talking about?
I'll need a subterranean variety of purple foxglove, known to the dwarves as the immortelle, and an elven rose of remembrance.
Probably need to go through both, but let's first find out where we can get these, the immortelles.
Where will we find immortelles?
They grow deep beneath the earth, which should not be a problem as Vergen lies on top of a mine.
How will they help Saskia?
Mage pain wreaks havoc in internal tissues. The immortelle will help restore them.
Triss had a rose of remembrance. She claimed the flowers are exceptional.
Long ago, the Enshe who succeeded in cultivating the roses enjoyed great respect.
Times have changed.
As have elves.
There are no elven gardens nearby. We must return to Flotsam.
Triss has a rose of remembrance from Flotsam. It's her we need to find.
So everything's tied neatly together now.
What else do you need to heal Saskia?
Thaumadour is a self-perpetuating substance. Any incursion into a cluster of poisoned cells causes an immediate chain reaction. Each tainted cell that is removed is replaced by 10 new tainted cells. To interrupt this reaction, I'll need an ungodly amount of the power. A water or air genie, or one of the 20 legendary rings of power would be best.
One to bring them all and in the darkness bind them.
Right. And then I'll have to run barefooted to the top of a volcano.
All right, all right. Let's forget the rings. I need a vast quantity of the power, no matter the source. Find something.
An immortelle, a rose of remembrance, royal blood and magic sounds like a fairy tale.
A poor one at that. No prince's kiss to top things off.
I wish it were a fairy tale, especially a poor one, as a happy ending would then be inevitable. May I count on your help, Geralt?
You may. What about the Battle of Wraiths?
I must first see if the spells keeping Saskia alive are in order. Then we'll consider how best to send the spectres to their rest. Actually, you could tend to that yourself. Ask the locals about the battle. Maybe you'll learn something.
In that case, I shall search for the poisoner.
it seems we've got our job cut out for us.
Only Philippa Eilhart may enter.
And everything. So, let's see. Should find Sultan. Talk to Philippa at her home. Should go for some blood at Stennis. Talk to Philippa Eilhart again. Find a Dunbanner standard Manogrove sword. And see Philippa about remaining artifacts. And then all the other good stuff we have to find. I say we start out with finding Sultan. Because it'd be nice to have a chat with him, wouldn't it? It really would. So, yeah. I think that's what we're going to be doing.